Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the King of Derp coming to you live from the South, the deep South. The last video I made, kind of touched a little bit about my family and people I've run into on the streets and just wherever. In this video, I want to go further in depth about my religious background, particularly with my family. I'll be honest with you, some of the things that I'll be talking about will be a little disturbing. I just hope you bear with me. So, here we go. From around age 4, my parents really dove into going to churches. They got saved, and of course, I was saved. But at that point, it just seems like we went down a wild roller coaster of churches. If the church door was open, they were there. My mom, she was always more of a follower than a leader. And my dad had no problem of taking us to all over the South to either sing or preach. He was part of a gospel group too at the time. But after a while, he decided that he wanted to leave being in a gospel group to start preaching full time as a pastor. So we didn't go to a typical church. We went to places that were shacks without houses. Electricity come from generators. They called them, I think it was Bush Harbor churches. They'd just be out in the middle of a field and bumfuck nowhere, kind of like a tent revival. Yeah, it was pretty miserable going to these places. And but anyway, he was a very distant man. It didn't matter if anything is going on in mine or my mom's life. You know, he didn't have a problem interrupting it to do his thing. Our world was consumed about him and his desires. And church became such a high for him. You just see it, you know. Like I said, we'd leave out on a Friday, and we wouldn't come back home till Sunday night and after church, and he would be in such a rush from it. People admired my dad, but they didn't know the backstory of our real life at home. And anyway, it was a pretty miserable time. That now that I'm an adult and I look back at that time. At age 7, something really traumatic happened to me. I was sexually assaulted by a friend of my brother's. My parents did not want to go to the police about it. They decided to confront the boy's parents and the boy. And of course, they had forgiveness in their heart, you know, like it happened to them. But that always stuck with me, that my parents didn't stick up for me. After that point, I dealt with a lot of shame and a lot of guilt that wasn't mine, but I had to bear it. It's like a scar that's on you for the rest of your life. It's just something that I could never shake. And, you know, as the older I got, the more depressed and more shame came on me. And I could never get any answers of the answer of why. Why couldn't it have been more done about it? So for a long time, I'd put on a smile and grin and bear it, trying to deal with it by myself. And older I got, more of a deep spiral that I'd go down. After a while, I was dealing with dealing with depression that I felt that I really needed to talk to someone. So instead of going to somebody like a teacher or a counselor or someone that was outside of our church, I decided to talk to a youth minister where my dad just started pastoring church at. So he was teaching Sunday school, and after Sunday school, I talked to him, and I didn't go in details of what was the root problem of what I was going through, but the problem I was going through. And yeah, I got the answer of going back to your parents and talking to them about it. Talk to God. Pray to God. I've got calluses to this day on my knees from praying to God. And you know, the answer that I always got was absolutely nothing. Zero. Zilch. His answer also was look in the Bible. Your answer's in the Bible. Pray to Jesus. So after not getting the answers that I thought that I was going to be getting from him, I just went into a deeper shame and deeper depression until about age 14, where I tried to commit suicide. It was a failed attempt. My mom came in right before and she stopped me. But instead of taking that as a sign that, hey, this boy needs help, she told my dad, and my dad scolded me. How dare you try to take away your life? Take away this gift that God has given you. You should pray and ask for forgiveness. You know, at that point I was like, well, you know what? Maybe God needs my forgiveness. After leaving the church, and I went through I guess you'd say a deprogramming phase of what did I believe and what was taught. Like I said, I couldn't find the answers in church, so I started looking into other places for help. So finally, I think around 18, 19 years old, I got married, and still having this problem and everything, I tried to commit suicide again. But this time, the best thing that ever happened to me, the police got involved. So I had to go through mental health, and I actually went away for about a week for suicide watch. And so I was finally diagnosed with manic depressant bipolar. I was on the darker side, I guess you'd say, of my condition. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there for right now. I don't know if there'll be a part 2 or not. It's just according to how well this video is received. But there might be a part 2. I'm doing this video for other people that has had the similar situation as I have, and to let them know that you're not alone, that there are other people out there and there's help for you. You just gotta look deeper and definitely look outside the church. Anyway, this is the King of Dirt signing off. Bye.